everyone, my name is Chris and welcome back to another movie review. Today I'm gonna be reviewing Extraction, and as usual I'm quickly gonna go through the story of this movie to tell you in short what the movie is all about. Then I'm gonna share my own opinions and thoughts about this movie, so in case you didn't watch it, one big spoiler alert across the screen. And yeah, just click away from this video and come back after you watch a movie if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to, it's totally okay. But if you really are interested in my opinions and thoughts about this movie right now, then stay with me till the end of this video and let's get started. Alright guys, Extraction. It's another movie that's been recently released. It follows the story of a soldier called Taylor, which is played by Chris Hemsworth, and honestly I am a big fan of Chris Hemsworth. I think he's a great actor, and you can see that in this movie especially. I really enjoyed him in his Thor movies, in Avenger movies, and he is definitely the best part of this movie, but I'll come to that a little bit later. Anyway, the story of this movie follows him and his depressive life. He lost his son due to cancer, he got divorced with his wife, and he's just a mercenary. He goes to war, kills people, completes the task he's been given by other people who pay him, and that's pretty much what his life is all about. So he lives really dangerous and shitty life. Then one day there is a war between those two gangs in India, and one drug lord kidnaps other drug lord's son, and the drug lord whose son was kidnapped is in the jail and he cannot save his own child, so he hires one of his men to hire someone to save his son, and he threatens to that guy if he doesn't make it, he will murder his family. So this guy who works for the drug lord whose son was kidnapped now has to find someone who can rescue his son if he wants his family to live. And that's when he hires Tyler and his team, and Tyler is now basically on the mission to rescue the little boy from other drug lord. And that's pretty much what the entire movie is all about. It does get complicated a lot down the road. This first guy who hired him doesn't pay him, and he decides to take the matter in his own hands. Then police and government and army gets involved because they got bribed by the other drug lord who kidnapped the other drug lord's son, and there is a lot of complications down the road, but in my opinion the story and what the movie is all about and what movie try to tell you is really good, and it was really enjoyable, definitely phenomenal. I enjoyed it a lot. So my favorite part of this movie, like I said, is definitely Chris Hemsworth. I was surprised how good he was in this movie, how good he performed in this movie. The action in this movie was really similar to John Wick, and if you maybe don't know, John Wick is my favorite action series, my favorite action movies, and this is something that came close to that. I don't know who worked on the choreography and action of this movie, but whoever worked on it did a fantastic job. The combat in this movie, when he's fighting these guys either on range or when he goes close up to them and things get hand-to-hand combat, it's really fluid. He knows how to use his gun. There is so many cool moves he does with weapons, and I love how he moves tactically through the environment, and what he does, the decision he makes depending by the situation he finds himself in. Oh yeah, I also want to mention how characters get tired when they fight. There is a lot of like hand-to-hand combat scenes when Taylor is fighting with the other guys, and I love how he gets tired, he slows down. I also love the injuries that character go through in this movie. Injuries look so realistic, and it really makes them look human. It doesn't make them look like unstoppable force. I also would like to mention how great the CGI is in this movie. Sometimes there are like close-up shots when someone is getting shot, and you can see like the flesh and the bullets just ripping through the body and the blood coming out. It looks so real and it looks so good. I love there is the scene when these drug lords, they actually one of them sends kids after Tyler, and he realizes, okay, kids are trying to kill me. Kids have guns, but I'm not a child murderer. And instead of killing kids, he just slaps them and finds the way to disable them and disarm them, not to kill them because they're still kids, and he doesn't want to kill kids. So even though this movie is really violent, there is a lot of scenes when these drug lords are throwing the kids off the roof. They're killing kids. There is so much violence in this movie. It's really, really realistic way that the way they show these drug lords and the things they do to people. I think it's really brutal and really realistic. Barely anything in this movie is censored, so you can see all the blood, all the gunshot wounds and everything. It's phenomenal. I loved this movie so much. Not only that the action is great in this movie, but the characters are as well. The little boy that got kidnapped by the other drug lord also tells you his story, how his father treated him and how his father kills people and all of that, and you just feel for him. You feel sorry for him, and he wants to have a normal father, and that's what he kind of sees in Taylor, that is trying to save him. And Taylor also wasn't there when his son died. He went to war, so he doesn't have to watch his son dying. And then the boy tells him that he's really brave, and instead of that he tells him that he's not a brave, that he's a coward, and that is the exactly reason why he doesn't want to get rid of the kid. Even the team he's working with told him that the mission's been compromised, they've been betrayed, and that he should just leave the kid behind. Then there is this other guy that helps him later in the movie. He tells him to kill the kid, to take the money for his life, and he just doesn't want to do that. He really builds the connection with the kid, and you can really see that through the movie. He does everything he can to save this kid's life. No matter how shitty his life is, he totally understands that his dad is a drug lord and that they're trying to catch him and try to get some money from his dad and all that kind of stuff. So he really wants to be father to this kid. That's how he behaves to him. The father this kid never had. The ending of this movie was quite shocking to me. I'm not completely gonna spoil what happens, but something happens at the end that I totally didn't expect to happen, and I was like, no way that just happened. No fucking way. This movie is so unpredictable. You can never know what's gonna happen, and that's why I love this movie so much. It keeps you interested. There is constantly something going on between the characters. In the story, characters are explored so much. They actually care about each other in the combat when they're talking to each other. They're really all just trying to survive in that dangerous situation, and the interactivity between the characters and the way they talk to each other and feel for each other is just amazing, and all that is just wrapped up with some blood pumping good action. And there's so many cool scenes in this movie. I just love how shots were taken in this movie as well, especially when there is a scene when Tyler is fighting guys around some buildings and they're like chasing him. He runs out of ammo, and then there are those cool transitions from balcony to the other building, then through the window of the car. Just camera goes so smoothly, and the shots are well thought out and well recorded. There is no like shaky cameras. Even when there is a scene when they're escaping in the car, the camera is constantly at the back seat following everything that's going on. This movie was shot so well, and I just loved everything about this movie. This is one of those movies that I just didn't find anything I dislike. Honestly, the characters were amazing, the action was amazing, the character development was amazing, the story was amazing, movie was well recorded, it has violence, it has blood, it has everything one movie like that should have. And I'm really surprised with performance of Chris Hemsworth. This really just shows that he can do a lot if you give him the right script. He can make such a great performance, and I totally didn't expect from Chris Hemsworth to do such a great job in this movie. And I just absolutely loved this movie. And if you're a fan of Chris Hemsworth, and if you're a fan of action movies, war movies, absolutely and definitely check this movie out. You're not gonna regret a single second watching this movie. It's amazing. Alright guys, I think I said everything I wanted about this movie. So if you enjoyed this movie review, then go ahead and leave a like, share, comment, or subscribe if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's totally okay. Also, you can join my Chris Facebook group, link is down below in the description, together with my as.fm, where you can leave any questions. If you have any questions, I'll answer to them as soon as I see them. And yeah guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate all of your support and everything you've done for me and my channel so far. I love you. I'll definitely see you in the next videos, and Chris out.